but it makes a gigantic difference.
All right, one card going on the bottom for Yasu, and we're ready to go. Urza's Saga. Is it going to be Shuko? Vile. All right.
All right, this one's keep. Okay.
Misty, say go.
Oh, cast Shuko.
Okay.
So, for anyone curious, the Cephalid breakfast combo involves Cephalid Illusionist. I'll share the link for the text for that in the chat. In combination with either Nomads in Core or Shuko. Nomads in Core or Shuko can just activate to target Cephalid Illusionist over and over until you mill your library. Then you use Dread Return to reanimate Thassa's Oracle. That's the idea. The deck can also win with construct tokens created by Urza's Saga and play a mid-rangey game, but the combo is what I just described. So Shuko is on the board. Vile on 2 means Illusionist can come in at instant speed. And that's exactly what happens here. That is the Illusionist. It gets equipped with Shuko. That triggers the Illusionist to mill 3 cards. And Marat clarifying here, you can equip it again to the same creature despite not having another creature to equip it to. So you can just equip the creature that's already equipped over and over and over.
That's fine. I kind of split through. Okay, I'm gonna do it again.
So now I will fetch.
Okay, so after activating it once, Shuko is at sorcery speed because it's an equip cost. It can't be activated in response here. Let's see if Marat has a way to kill this Illusionist. Finds an underground sea. Snuff out. That'll trigger Illusionist. Yasu will get a Narcomoeba out of the deal. Yeah, when I was explaining the combo, I forgot about the Narcomoebas. When you mill your library, Narcomoebas come in, and that's how you flash back the Dread Return. Very similar to the All Spells decks in that way. All right, so the Vile on 2 is in glare, but it is there. There's a Ponder resolving for Yasu, who has now equipped Narcomoeba with a Shuko. Why not?
Then I'll pass through.
Turn.
Tropical Island and pass.
Yeah.
Combat.
Yep.
Bottle.
Yeah, sure.
Trigger draw.
Nice Fang Coatl. No death touch, but Narcomoeba only has 1 toughness, so it dies.
I will pass the turn.
Drop turn. Spellbound.
Shuko gives +1/+0.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are 6, 12, 13.
And a Ponder from Marat.
Yeah.
I should probably read that. Land for turn.
This is gonna
Say
die,
go.
but you might as well take it.
Activate Vile.
Okay.
I'll let it. I'll be sure.
Belful Strix comes in. Trigger draw. Equipping Baleful Strix with Shuko.
Okay, I'm gonna fetch. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
We'll go to.
I was not expecting any of that to happen. Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's underground C. Cabal Therapy.
Go to Costa.
Yep.
Or actually attack. First. Trigger.
3 cards in hand.
3 cards.
Three
Sure.
cards in Yasu's hand. Thinking about
Ice
responding
Strike
to
Waddle?
Cabal Therapy.
Yep.
I'll just draw 1.
Ice Vein Coatl was named, and it's now discarded. Either Channeler, Endurance, Force of Will, Bayou, and Snow Island, or the other cards in hand. So Murat liked the odds of Yasu guessing incorrectly there, I guess. Maybe thought Yasu would go after Aluren.
Pass the turn.
Yep. Draw.
Pass another same guy.
Cool.
Both on top? Yeah.
Take it.
All right, passing the turn. The vials are remaining on 1 and 2. Murat has access to a Force of Will and an Endurance, which are both relevant. Yasu could potentially flash back this Cabal Therapy, but is not doing it. Not attacking either because of Endurance. Doesn't want to lose this Strix, apparently. All right, here's Once Upon a Time. Needs therapy to clear Endurance when comboing. Yeah. Yeah, usually there's only one copy of Cabal Therapy in the deck, right? So this Endurance is very valuable. So would you attack there, chat? Do we have any breakfast players watching? Would you attack there? Is it fine to trade this Strix for an Endurance, or is there a reason to keep this Strix around on defense? I mean, we see Uro now in Murat's hand. We know that card is powerful. Could potentially hold it back to block that eventually, rather than trade with Endurance.
Cast this. Short. Trigger. Yep.
I'm not sure.
3. Draw.
Gaining 3 life with Uro. No land drop.
And then
But with both Force of Will and Endurance and a card to pitch in hand, Murat has pretty good defense against the combo right now. I guess what I'm unsure about right now is should this this Strix be attacking for 2 every turn? We know Uro can potentially escape next turn. Yeah, I feel like the trade of Strix and Endurance favors Yasuhiro, right? It's hard to say. We don't know what's in Yasu's hand right now, I don't think. Unless Twitch chat or YouTube commenters caught a glimpse of it. No, the Shuko equipment can equip the same creature over and over again. You don't need to swap it between creatures. That's a common mistake. All right, sacrificing it to Cabal Therapy.
Basically, yeah. So, force. Just one.
Force pitch force. So Marat protecting endurance. Teferi Time Raveler. Endurance in response. Okay, yeah, that Cabal Therapy was supposed to be in exile, which it's now corrected. And Endurance resolves and does its thing.
Teferi's good.
Teferi then resolves. Don't exactly want to bounce Endurance here, although with Teferi on the table, its ability is less problematic for the Breakfast player because they won't be able to cast it at instant speed. But you also don't want Marat now to just untap and then attack Teferi and kill it. Alright, plus Teferi. So Teferi can be attacked. Won't die this time.
We're jamming, bro. We're having a good time.
I almost made it 3, but I was like, I'll need one more. You probably have less forward than me. Go ahead. Yeah, the one Narcomoeba is in the yard. So to flashback Dread Return, Yasu would need 3 creatures on the board. Does the deck usually have 3 or 4 Narcomoebas?
Second main. I'll attempt to cast this.
Manwed says you should have bounced Endurance. Okay, so yeah, so with 3 Narcomoebas, then exactly, there will need to be another creature on the board. All right, so Escape of Uro now happens. Yeah, the Illusionist can be sacked after it's done its job.
Rogue Agent. Escape.
Yeah, it looks like Marat forgot to exile cards from the graveyard. Both players missing that for now.
Yeah, sure. Resolve.
Yeah.
Resolves.
Yeah, go ahead. I still have to resolve it, right?
Yeah, you still have to
I
reveal.
still have, so-
Double tricks.
Yeah.
You can choose to put it on bottom. You don't. You, as in, you don't. You choose not to cast it. And it goes to the bottom.
This can stay next turn.
Okay.
Yep.
It's been a while since I've seen Charlotte's box.
Reserve list is here in the chat. Did he exile cards? Unfortunately, it looks like Marat forgot to exile cards for Escape, but I'm glad to see Reserve list in the chat. We had a stream a few weeks ago where Reserve list gifted some subs towards the end of the stream, and I had to run very quickly, and I did not get a chance to thank Reserve list. So thank you, Reserve list. Thank you for those gift subs. A belated thank you, weeks later. And sorry about that.
I'm gonna concede.
Trap, thanks for the follow. Welcome.
Till.
All right, looks like Yasu scooped it up. Yeah, Aluren won the match. I'll update the score. Yasu Hero scooped it up. Dread Return was in hand. I missed that. I probably looked away for a moment. All right, turn 1 Vial for breakfast. Marat finds a snow swamp. Shuko, Ponder, Teferi, Orum's Chant. Interesting. What does Marat want to take here? Chooses Teferi Time Raveler. Okay.
Playing I basically played a lot from like 2016 to 2020. And before that, like from Ice Age to like
Best Ponder?
right before Marriage.
There's a ponder for Yasuhiro.
That was like the last time I remember playing. Yeah, like 2009-ish.
Yeah, if Dread Return ends up in hand, you can brainstorm it back into the library, or you can hard cast it without flashback, I guess. Or Cabal Therapy yourself, or what's the other way? I feel like there's one we're forgetting. I don't know. Discard to hand size? I mean, yeah, that could happen. Hardcast Dread Return definitely comes up. That makes sense.
The theory is like, oh, I'm gonna do two, but then final reanimates, which I will win, but then like.
Collector, oof. Interesting. That shuts off Shuko, shuts off Vile. Of the cards we currently see.
Where are you trying to get to?
Rexy's right now.
Oh, okay.
So the previous turn I could have farmed.
Oh,
I went and got Staring Bridge and just made this.
Oh, yeah.
Cast Shuko. Cast it.
All right, here's Shuko. Cannot be used currently.
You just stop the deck for you. It's nerve-wracking. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Attacking for 2. Puts Yasu down to 17. Uro. Yasu gestures that that's fine. Draws a card. Puts a land into play.
Oh, really? One guy.
Willful Strix comes in. Vile and Shuko are shut off, as I said a moment ago. Worm's Chant is in hand. Narcomoebo. All right. Creatures. Sometimes you just attack with creatures. And then you win. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, no, and 4 for the guys who are saying.
Murat can probably make a better... Can probably win the combat game, though. You see Uro in the graveyard. I don't think that's a realistic path to victory for Yasuhiro in this match. Baleful Strix. Is that Gorilla's on in the background? I'm not sure. I try to keep the volume low. I don't have rights to this music. Snow Forest. Did he play 2 lands? That might be a good catch by Grigwinski.
I'll pass the turn.
On your end step.
Well, we've had plenty of errors on today's stream, that's for sure. If that's true. YouTube commenters will catch it. Nice Fang Coatl. Draw a card.
Also on your end step. I will decay your Shuko.
Abrupt Decay on Shuko on end step as well. Alright, so the extra land drop, if it did happen, ends up mattering a bit here as extra mana was used. Which is unfortunate. You know, whether, you know, we get often when there are errors on this channel, viewers tend to wonder if the players that play on stream are cheating. You know, I play at the LGS with the same people, mostly the same people, every week, and we're all friends. Nobody's trying to cheat anybody. We're all just having a good time. But I think the lesson here is that when you do go to a competitive tournament and you don't know your opponent and you don't know their intentions, you don't know if they're a good person or not, or an honest player or not, you just have to pay attention. Did they play a land? Did they play the cost? Does Mox Opal have enough mana for artifacts for Metalcraft? You have to keep track of that stuff. And, you know, this is not a competitive event. This is just a weekly tournament at my LGS. And players are playing at a pace appropriate for games without high stakes. You know, we're not thinking for a full minute about which attacks to make every turn. You know, people are trying to just get some games in and enjoy their evening. And even for myself, you know, when I play in competitive events, which I don't often do, but when I do, I slow myself down a little bit. I think about every play a bit longer. I think about, did I play an extra land this turn? And every time my opponent taps a Mox Opal, I'm wondering if they have enough artifacts for Metalcraft and so on. So, you know, I hope from watching this channel, especially today's stream, people think about those things and learn those lessons and just avoid those mistakes and avoid allowing your opponent to make mistakes that benefit them. And that's it. That's the end of my lecture.
Yeah, I mean, I always play.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, this isn't like great against you, but at least it has the
Yeah.
I try not to build on a lot of people that like to get
Target position.
All right, Force of Vigor, Urza Saga, and Belfastrix are the targets. They are removed.
First turn side starts.
Yeah.
Trigger. Yep.
8, 10, 11, 12.
Yep. Resolve trigger.
You got it.
Draw.
Just think of, I think we're trigger on the staff. I think the correct way to actually do it is back priority.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11.
That's fine. Yamaraj, if you don't agree, that's totally fine with me. We're also watching games at my LGS. A lot of these players have no aspirations of making the Pro Tour or becoming the world champion or anything. They just play for fun. And they make mistakes. And they go to sleep at just fine every night. Doesn't cause them to lose sleep if they make a mistake during the weekly Legacy tournament.